Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Teresa and today I'm just going to have a craft chat. What are you doing today? I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Today I am ironing handkerchiefs that I got in Colorado at one of those antique thrift shop type mall things, for lack of not knowing what to really call it. We have one here in Boise too, and I visited it maybe the Saturday before, can't really remember. I think it was last Saturday, and they didn't have anything. I've gotten some good things from there a couple years ago, but I couldn't find anything I wanted. I didn't look at the books a lot, but the books I saw were like Zane Grey or romance novels or something like that. So I've accomplished quite a bit so far today. I've got this pile of handkerchiefs that I have ironed. I washed them and they've been sitting around folded, but I wanted to iron them so that they looked as nice as they did when I bought them. But, you know, I was just led to rewash these. I felt like I'd feel better using them if I did. Personal preference. At the same time that I bought these, I bought a big crocheted mat or tablecloth, or I'm not really sure what it was. And I took some of the pieces, I tore them up first, and then yesterday I took some of the pieces to put my newly rusted paper clips. So I have them at the bottom of here. And by the way, I think I've got my camera situation fixed so that it will quit dropping when I start a video. Fingers crossed. So this is where I keep all my rusted paper clips. And this is the newest batch. I like that gold on there. That's not really gold. That's like copper, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's like a copper color. Anyways, I leave those in the bottom of there. I'm trying to come up with a desk storage solution for my little tiny pieces that I want to be able to grab and use when I am crafting. But these aren't pieces that you would put in an ephemera holder. Maybe this, but this is a one-off. So while I could easily put it in an empty place in the ephemera book, how would I find it? Because it's a one-off. I do have a place in one of my ephemera books that has tags. Or I think I have a pouch actually for those. But I just like to have some little pieces hanging out so that I can go, oh, what do I have on my desk? And then from there I can say, oh, that would be fun to utilize. Okay. Anyways, that's how I got this like rusted look on here. And then I sprayed, there was actually some black Tim Holtz spray in there, so that's how this gray, and then I sprayed some blue, I think, but it's kind of interesting colors, and it's a bit, I think the word is like mottled, or I think the word is M-O-T-T-L-E-D. I might be wrong, but I think for the right project, you know, it just might look kind of cool. Anyways, that's going to be in my stash now. And then I will show you why I have this little strip of handkerchief on my desk, because it was in here with the handkerchiefs. And I have a lot more stuff in here from that haul from that antique place. This one is more like vanilla or ecru colored hand crochet table doily. Yeah, that one I'm not going to cut up yet. Wait and see what project it's calling to me to use that. All right, let's put those to the side for now. Get this back out of my way. And I'm going to show you what I did with one of the handkerchiefs that I ironed. Right now, I'm starting a new project. I have several projects that I haven't finished due to I was making really good process. I was making very good progress on my Tracy Fox inspired junk journal planner that I used my cinch to bind, and I was making really good progress on my language of flowers that is inspired by Carol Laws, but I need some fabric, and I didn't want to go shopping for fabric, and of course I couldn't have it mailed to me because I was in transport. Boy, I cannot pronounce my words today. Anyways, I couldn't do it. So I could get those things accomplished now, but while I was traveling, my boss's baby arrived, one of my clients, and I decided yesterday or the day before that I wanted to do a baby journal. Never done a baby journal before. But as I was ironing this particular handkerchief, it told me to use this handkerchief on this altered book that is the baby journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some texture paste on this. The baby is a little boy. His name is Bennett. And I'm going to put this on here. And what I've decided to do is, in the back here, I punched some holes with my crocodile, and in the handkerchief and in the book, I'm going to put in an eyelet here and here, and this is going to be a really teeny tiny tuck. Now, the reason why I've done it like this so far is because, yes, the hole did have to come through here, but it doesn't have to come through on the other side of the handkerchief. So the plan is that the others, oops, my stuff is falling out. The holes on the other side is going to be camouflaged. You can still see it, but not as well, because I didn't need it there. Now I probably am, once this is all on here, probably am going to punch another hole here all the way through for my closure. Haven't decided that in stone yet. So that's what's going on there. And I haven't done this part yet because I haven't decided if I wanted to do any sewing on this. Like, say, you know, maybe I want to take something like this and sew that on there. No, not that, because that doesn't look good. The colors don't match. That's not what I would use. And not this either, but maybe take a cluster and sew a cluster on here. I haven't decided yet if I need to have this off of here so that I can sew. This is something that I am really not organized about, and that is planning things out so that I don't get to the point where this is all glued on and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I wanted to texture underneath there, or oh, I wanted to sew something on the handkerchief before laying that down so I don't have to glue it down. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that. These are just some pieces that I had tucked in here. I don't have the book totally altered yet. I've got to start. This is going to be, excuse me, the effort for this is planned on being minimal because the baby's born. He was born the first week of May, I think. So I don't want to drag this out until the kid's in college. So I want to get this done and in the mail as quickly as possible, but with a good effort on my part. So I did buy a digital. I'm mainly going through digital. I'm not doing any, at this point, I don't have any gesso planned to go on this book. I'm going to texture though. So we've got this digital that I bought. It says baby book, our baby, so I thought they could put a picture there. I cut out some, accidentally I printed in full scale at first because I wasn't sure what I needed for this book. Ends up I'm printing all the digitals except for the ephemera at 75%. And then like this ephemera is full scale, and this would be a cute little pocket. And I could put a big teddy bear and a little teddy bear there and make that a pocket. That would be cute. But we'll see how it goes. Part of me wanted this. I threw away the tag that said brother because the little guy doesn't have a brother, but he does have a big sister. So I thought I might even think about taking the sister label and putting sister on this guy and putting brother on this guy and pretend like this was Avery and Bennett. Still in the thought process part. Then of course I'm going to have to go back through and put some extra glue on some of the pages. That's going to go right there. So you can see that's where I got those fussy cut images from, is from this page that I had at full scale. So I have these pages ready, but I just haven't glued the digitals in yet, but they're all ready. Same here. And then I was thinking today, all right, this is getting a little boring for me because if you've watched my videos, you know that I love vintage and I love grunge. So instead of full inking, what I'm doing with this is I'm inking lightly when I see white. Definitely at the top and the bottom of these pages, because I did take my, oh, and by the way, my next goal, aside from making sure that the stupid camera didn't drop, and so far it seems to be doing much better than the last two videos, apologies for that, but my next project is to get a microphone to clip to my shirt or something. But I go into procrastination mode because that part of technology is not my forte. And I don't like to spend money as an uninformed consumer. I mean, like, I'm looking at my shirt today and I'm like, well, could I put a microphone on this shirt? How did they design their microphones to go onto shirts? How does that work? Where else could I put a microphone? And would it be effective? So many questions, so little answers. And I got to right here, I think. So this is where I stopped, and I have to start pulling out more pages, getting this prepared. I tried to make that look, trying not to burn myself on the iron, as nice as possible. I would like that to look nicer. I've seen other altered books that do look nicer. Maybe if I took a clip and push that together with a clip, that might help. Last night I did lay this down and I put 3 heavy punches on top of it. And I'm gonna get me a big bulldog clip to hold this closed, maybe 2. Because that helps to start stretching the book and, you know, but at the same time keeping things flat. It helps to condition the book. And that's something that you need to be cognizant, even as a seasoned, and I'm not calling myself a seasoned junk journaler, but I am a kind of smart person. I mean, I went to high school and graduated and went to college, but I've got a lot of life smarts. So, and I was watching a video, and the video made the point that you have to condition your paper. So a lot of times when we use glue and paper, your paper likes to, or water, your paper likes to curl. Well, we have to condition our paper. It's kind of like your hair. When you're styling your hair and you use one of those round brushes and the hair dryer at the same time, you take the round brush and you pull your hair slowly while you're drying. Well, by doing this sort of thing, I'm conditioning the paper. I'm telling it who's boss and what that silly paper is going to do come heck or high water, by golly. I'm taking control. So anyways, we have to condition our paper, and we can also condition our altered books. This is a ironing pad that I bought for the travel trailer because I am sitting at my table that I have my cutting mat on, and if you've seen my table before, it's just this this gray table that folds out and folds in for when we're traveling to set up against the wall. And this is my ironing pad that I fold up, and my little travel iron. Hope I didn't have it. This cord is so long, which is good, but it curls and it gets in the way, and I'm afraid I'm gonna burn my cord. But anyways, logistics. Okay, so I can take a handkerchief and my hot iron, and then I bought myself some starch. Lemon scent, huh? I didn't notice that. It's okay though. But I wanted them to be nice and crisp and starchy. So this is what I'm doing today. A lot of ironing. I even ironed a shirt earlier. I didn't do do that bad when I wasn't on camera putting wrinkles in my ironing. How do you guys feel about ironing? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I don't like it. Do you use ironing for your junk journaling? Are there any seasoned YouTubers out there that might have a recommendation for a microphone for me to use? Nobody complains anymore. It's probably because I didn't listen to them before about not being able to hear me, because I basically told them to turn the volume up. I'm not a professional, and the way people say things sometimes is very short and poorly communicated. I'm trying to sell some of my Stampin' Up stash, so that makes me think of a good example of somebody who recently has been like, okay, she didn't even say that, she just said, where do you live? And in the ad it said public meetup, because I'm not going to have people come over to the trailer. For one thing, I wonder if this went to sleep. Oh, it appears to go to sleep. Oh. Part of me wants to touch this. No, Teresa, don't do that. I have to stop myself from touching when I use the heat embosser. I feel like it's off. There's no on-off switch here though, that I'm aware of. I could feel the heat a little while ago. Feels hot there. Pretty sure I didn't turn my electric off, because everything else is on. And I really can't tell how to use this dial. It kind of drives me nuts. You know, it doesn't have, I mean, it has a picture for if this is up, it's steam, and if it's down, it's not steam. And well, let's see, what does that say there? Max. I think that's for water level, and you put the water in this little gray thing. But okay, so this probably in my mind would be off, and then when you turn it this way, that would be hotter and hotter and hotter. But I think that's so stupid. These marks should be on the outside, and this should be like a pointer. I gotta look and see if this is unplugged. It does not appear to be unplugged. Nope. Does not appear to be unplugged. Oh, it's getting hot now. Okay. Well, that was a woo. Yeah. It's getting hot. But it's been really a nice experience to iron these handkerchiefs, because I'm noticing the weave of the fabric, and then on some of them they have a little like rust stain or something. One had a wear mark that was just starting, and it reminded me of when I first started collecting vintage type things, books first mostly, And folks, I would say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I got my first ephemera. I don't know if anybody remembers that post. And I was getting all kinds of advice. Maybe that's why I don't have more subscribers, because I don't take their advice. But I was getting all this advice to keep in a cool place, and maybe to use mothballs, and what else did it tell me? Keep it out of sunlight, things like that. And I'm like, yeah, right. I live in a travel trailer. And when the sunlight comes in, there's not a lot I can do about it. Because of the way I have my totes set up. So I did come up with an idea to take my extra Cricut mats that I would have thrown away, and I put them towards the back of my totes, because my totes have like a see-through place, kind of like window type thing. I don't know what you call it. Anyways, still a little wet from the starch. I'm trying to get it to dry out a bit more. Anyways, that helped keep the sunlight off of my books that are stored in the tote. And the totes are like, they're my version of an IKEA shelf that has drawers and will close up, and the drawers will lock for when you're traveling, and the stuff won't fall out. And hopefully keep some of the dust off of it that comes in. Jeff, my husband, left the vents open the first time we traveled in this trailer, and I came back here and I was like, oh my gosh, there's dust all over my stuff. He's like, oh, I left the vents open. I won't do that next time. Thank you. Thank you for that. And yes, I do still love you. But don't test it. Don't test it. Don't push me too far. Messing with my vintage stuff, you know. Messing with my craft stuff. Don't ask me to choose. So, anyways, it's been fun to iron these and see the difference things. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, these have got to be vintage, because I don't think they do this kind of thing anymore. Wouldn't that be sad if that's true? You know, that everybody just uses modern designs and something like that. Wouldn't that be sad? This one has a little tear and wear over it. So I think this one has been loved. And I like that. Oh, so getting back to the recommendations that I was getting for to store my vintage stuff. Mothballs, things like that. As I'm ironing one of the handkerchiefs and it had a wear spot, I was like, oh my gosh, no. Moths are they would be a, what did I call it to myself? They would be a benefit to junk journaling. That's still not the word I'm trying to think of. Because they would put little holes in. I am not a shabby chic. I am not a clean, neat junk journaler. I like holes, and I like stains. And I like tea dyed and coffee dyed. This is just some cheesecloth that I was conditioning yesterday. So I have all these little pieces that are in my little spray thing. I have no words today. So they're just kind of hanging out. This one I really grunged up. And so it might even be fun to take something like that and spray it and see if I can activate that ink, and then just go doot there, doot there. This is a little wet from the starch, so I didn't think it would, but it would be kind of cool to look. Iron cheesecloth is kind of cool. Ooh, what if I put starch on it? Ooh, yeah, it came off on the, oh my, that's kind of cool. This is kind of like gel printing. I feel like a mad scientist right now. Not so much, but that's okay. I like that it's just a little tiny bit. And I was just doing this to see if I could get the cheesecloth to be stiff from the starch. Okay, I'm just gonna lay that over there and let that dry. And I do like this. Call me crazy. Okay, come on now. Sounds like the hubby's home. He's been working on putting in a piece of plywood to the side of me by the garage door, because in this trailer there is a slant there for the ramp to get toys in here, like quads and motorcycle and that sort of thing. And so it takes space away from me. So he's making it flat, and he bought a really cool piece of wood at Home Depot, and he's going to bring it in here in a minute, and he's going to install it for me because he's a wonderful husband. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is my last handkerchief, and I'm going to call this craft chat to a close. It's a wrap, and we will see you in the next